This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. House Speaker and Member of Parliament for Nassau Village House and Moultrie categorically denying claims made in the Punch newspaper on February 11th, claiming that he made a deal with the Progressive Liberal Party. Well, in a statement released yesterday, Mr. Moultrie says there has been no discussion with no offer and no deal between him and the PLP, and if there was, it would have been flatly rejected, as the proposal from the Prime Minister was. He says should the name Halson Moultrie appear on an election ballot as an adequately funded independent candidate, it would be for love of country, the furtherance of democracy, good governance, and to win rather than split the FNM's vote, as the Punch claims. He labels the article as yellow journalism in its nastiest and ugliest form, designed to undermine the Speaker's office and Parliament, adding that the publication raises issues of privilege and contempt of Parliament, contrary to the rules of the House of Assembly and the Powers and Privileges Senate and House of Assembly Act. Recently, the competent authority amended the Emergency Powers Orders EPO, which allowed 20 people to attend a funeral. That's 10 more than was allowed previously. And JCN's news team spoke this morning with President of the Funeral Home Association, Kirsch Ferguson, asking how bereaved families are coping with the new orders.
Operating costs for funeral homes, there's been a slight increase based on us having to use precaution through the entire process once a body is placed into our care. So we've been doing our best to ensure that we are able to minimize those costs, but at the same time there's a slight increase on that end. And secondly, families are selecting more of a lower end type service based on the financial position of everybody straight across the country.
Now, many industries have taken a big financial hit over the last 11 months. Mr. Ferguson, though unable to give a concrete figure for the hit the funeral industry has taken, says this.
Operating costs for funeral homes, there's been a slight increase based on us having to use precaution through the entire process once a body is placed into our care. So we've been doing our best to ensure that we are able to minimize those costs, but at the same time there's a slight increase on that end. And secondly, families are selecting more of a lower end type service based on the financial position of everybody straight across the country.
Now, on a positive note, Mr. Ferguson says that the process for death certificate registrations at the Office of Registrar General has been smoother over the last few months. Turning our attention to crime news, police having a busy weekend as investigating officers are looking into at least 2 shooting incidents that have left 2 males detained in hospital. In the latest incident, preliminary reports are that shortly before 4 p.m. Sunday, police received reports of a shooting incident that occurred on Sequoia Street. The caller stated that occupants of a small black vehicle approached a male and discharged a weapon in his direction, injuring him before leaving the scene. The victim was transported to hospital via a private vehicle. His condition is not known at this time. Meantime, sometime around 3 p.m. Friday, police received reports of a shooting incident that occurred on Kwaku Street. On arrival, first responding officers conducted inquiries which revealed that a male was standing on Kwaku Street when he was approached by a male who produced a handgun and discharged it in his direction, hitting him in the right ankle. The victim was transported to hospital. He is listed in stable condition. Windsor School at Albany is proud to announce the launch of the Windsor School $1 Million Scholarship Search, a scholarship competition for Bahamian citizens currently in 8th, 9th, or 10th grades. The search will award 10 deserving Bahamians, 5 girls and 5 boys, with up to a 4-year scholarship to Windsor School at Albany, including full tuition, uniforms, books, meals, and an iPad.
Sign up. So we have a website that outlines the scholarship and outlines a little bit about the school as well. And it's WindsorMillion-Search.com. There's a very, very simple application form which students are asked to fill out if they're interested. And it just involves a couple of questions, confirmation that they are Bahamian citizens, grade level, GPA, and we ask for a writing sample, a small writing sample based on, what a child is passionate about. And we also ask them to upload a video explaining why they think they'd be a great candidate to receive a scholarship. So it's not complicated at all.
According to Lisa Sawyer McCartney, 40 students from around the country will be selected to participate in the $1 Million competition, and they will be evaluated by a panel of judges featuring prominent leaders in the Bahamas and internationally. Mrs. Sawyer McCartney says the competition is an opportunity to provide a phenomenal education and experience to the best and brightest in the country.
So we're looking for kids who are creative, we're looking for kids who are innovative, who are passionate about their subject matter. That's, I think, really important. Of course, we're looking for a certain GPA, because you must have an aptitude for learning and be able to access the curriculum that we offer. We're looking for kids who are very, very passionate about their subject areas and who've devoted time into their subject areas.
The $1 Million Scholarship Competition will be held over several days at Windsor School's Albany campus. It will air on television in May, at which time the 10 winners will be announced. Again, students have until March 7th to register online at windsormilliondollarsearch.com. Stay with us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.